Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole and it's by user StrangeTemperature00. My sister-in-law licked my face and now my brother is not talking to me. Alright, I'm sorry for the title, but that's as concise as I could be about it. I am 22 male and my brother is 28 male. He's been engaged to his fiancée for a few months now. She is 24. My brother's fiancée is your typical spoiled party girl, and to be honest, so is my brother. In the last year or so, my brother and I have had a strained relationship. This is mostly due to differences of opinion when helping take care of our mom, who is struggling with some PTSD and anxiety. She went through a horrible work-related situation and is still recovering and not back to work yet. For some context, my brother is a very impatient and opinionated person who struggles to see things outside his own perspective. He doesn't have a good grasp on mental health. He is easily persuaded by what he reads online, gets caught up in conspiracy theories, and I noticed the pandemic kind of exacerbated all of this. I work as a paramedic and he's been arguing with me about thinking I know better than him ever since. Also, I am adopted and my bio mom was a different ethnicity, so we don't look like brothers. When he can't think of a way to win an argument, he brings up the fact that I'm not her real son or his real brother. It wasn't always like this between us. I get that this post is going to be skewed by my perspective, but I'll try to be objective when it comes to the conflict. My birthday was last weekend when this happened. My brother's fiancé apparently had the idea to throw me a surprise party. Most of the people there were friends of my brother and the fiancé. Everyone was drunk. They made a bit of a show of bringing me out a cake and having me blowing out the candles. Before I did that, my brother's fiancé swiped frosting on her finger and put it on my cheek. I thought it was just her being nice and not trying to smash a piece of cake in my face. I blew out the candles and after I did that, his fiancé grabbed my face and licked it. Like from my jaw all the way up the side of my face. I have no idea why she did this. We don't even have that kind of relationship where it would be funny. My brother's face changed, his demeanor changed, he became very withdrawn and irritable. They were seen quietly fighting and he ended up just leaving the party. I brought it up the next day to make sure he was okay and apparently the two of them made up. It's me he has an issue with. I don't know what she told him, but it seems as if I'm the one being made out to be flirting with her, wanting her, etc. Not even remotely true. I told him to leave me out of his relationship problems. It's his partner who disrespected him and embarrassed him. He's angry at the wrong person. I refuse to apologize. Apparently, I am going to be out of the wedding unless I do. He's upset because I won't admit to my mistake. Well, I don't feel like I made one. Should I just do it for the sake of settling it? Normally, I'm willing to be the bigger person, but this is a false accusation I don't want attached to myself. Am I the a-hole? OP, of course you're not the a-hole, and the fact is that you're right. Your brother is angry at the wrong person. Like, let's think for a second. How would the apology go? Hey bro, I'm really sorry that I rubbed my face on your fiancé's tongue. No, of course not. I think your brother has some self-respect issues or huge insecurities and that's why he tries to control everything. But of course, that's just an uneducated guess. The fact is that his fiancée at a minimum harassed you, but it sounds like assault to me. I would tell my brother, you know what? I'm not gonna apologize. This is something that you need to deal with your fiancée. If you don't like what she did to me because I didn't invite it, then you need to have a conversation with her. If this means that I can't go to your wedding, well, maybe I'll get invited to the next one. Additionally, if this starts to escalate, you might want to think about assault charges. In summary, OP, no, you're not the a-hole and she owes you an apology. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section, and now let's check out the community comments. Kalak Mac says, your brother and his fiancée are behaving like children. If you apologize for this incident, then it's likely that he will continue to treat you with disrespect. If he takes you out of the wedding, he will have to explain the reason to others, which should prove embarrassing to him and his fiancée. Perhaps you should call him out on his bluff, regardless, not the a-hole. And Opie responds, "You know what? I'm not opposed to threatening him with that. Thank you." Rich Ad 1642 says, "Not the a-hole. I wouldn't cave either. Here's what I think. It's cliche, but you're probably the harder, smarter brother. Your brother has insecurity issues about his relationship, intelligence, and other things. So usually, those people tend to get jealous easily and have paranoia about losing their partner to someone else." Not excusing the fiancé either, because she definitely tried to keep herself innocent or victim and put everything on you when your brother confronted her. It's a cop-out, but it's easier for him to pin it on you versus her. Her being closer to age to you, I bet she does have a crush or at least some kind of attraction to you, and it came out when she was drunk. If she didn't lie, I wouldn't think that, but the lying means she's trying to cover up feelings, maybe. And Opie responds, "I never thought about it actually, and nothing really sticks out. She's obsessed with K-pop, and I'm half Korean, so she's made comments to me, but I didn't interpret them as flirting. I thought she was just trying to be nice and didn't know how else to connect when I shared about the whole being adopted thing. When she's sober, she is more awkward and shy. My brother lives with my mom, so usually when I visit and we're talking, my mom and brother are around too, and it's more of a family vibe." And Quotable Morceau says, "Not the a-hole. What I don't get is why you even would want to attend the wedding. Strained relationship. He does not see you as a brother. The not your mom jabs. His relationship does not seem to be on a very stable footing and he will become more and more erratic. You should put as much polite distance between you and brother and his relationship for your own peace of mind. He seems to have already singled you out as the future scapegoat." And Opie responds, "This one hurts. I think I needed to hear it though. You're not wrong. I guess I'm just always trying to understand him and I need to stop doing that, especially when he's not giving me the same kind of understanding. I thought we could get back to the relationship we had before, but it's not looking like it's getting any better." Additional information from Opie's comments. I hope it blows over. At the moment, what she did didn't gross me out, but only because I was so drunk and my reaction was impaired. I just hope it was more cake and less saliva. Also, as I said, she was drunk, my brother was drunk, I was drunk, everyone was drunk. And there's a video of which shows it was all her. I agree with you all, there isn't anything to dissect. I don't understand why he's so mad at me. Alright, so the community agrees that OP was not the a-hole and that the brother and the fiancé, of course, are absolutely in the wrong and maybe OP should get some space. So now, let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. After trying to reach out to my brother, he finally came around and stopped ignoring me. He didn't want to talk about what happened, but was willing to put it behind us. To be honest, I think talking about it would have been healthier, but I decided to let it go because he was so adamant. Then, just the other day, he came to me on his own and admitted that he feels unsure about his relationship and is struggling to trust his fiancée ever since the incident on my birthday. I told him there's no rush to get married and he should take time to figure out what he's feeling. I didn't try to give any particular opinion because I feel like this is something he needs to figure out for himself. Also, I genuinely don't know what's going on between them. He still took what I said the wrong way somehow and we ended up having an argument. He thinks I'm not happy for him and don't want to see him successful or starting a family. I tried to walk away at this point in the conversation because no matter what I said, it was just going to get misconstrued, but he didn't want to stop fighting. Somewhere in that, I finally learned why he's so mad at me these days. It turns out he's pissed that our mom paid for my tuition. I've been doing overtime to pay her back, and clarification, if it matters, she doesn't actually want me to pay her back. It was a gift, but I'd like to pay her back slowly. My brother feels this money should have been given to him for his wedding, which I am no longer invited to. The thing is, she did pay for his tuition too, but he dropped out, so one point in his argument is that she gave him less. I don't really know how to fix things, but that's where we're at. Well, OP, I don't think you can fix this thing because this is all on your brother. It is not on you to fix, so maybe just give him space and time, don't go to the wedding and keep in touch with your mom. The thing is, your brother has a huge U-shaped chip on his shoulder that he doesn't know how to work through or shake off. Anything you say will be taken as an affront or as a dig or as an attack or anything. So I wouldn't even try. It's pointless to waste energy on idiots who just don't want to have a conversation and want to fight. Maybe someday he'll mature and apologize, or maybe he won't. Regardless, you need to focus on your life now. Live your life and enjoy it. Take care, OP, and thanks for sharing. Now, let's move on to the next post that also has an update. This post is from the subreddit True Off My Chest, and it's by user Batteryman. My boss hinted me to sleep with her. And I, 31, still don't know how to feel, how it happened, and why she wants this. She is 47, married, and I've been working with her for 3 years. And until last week, our relationship was very good, but strictly professional. The most that happened between us is a kiss on the cheek when she greeted me in the morning, as she does with almost everyone. She and I spent a lot of time together, as over time, she made me her right hand, taking me to meetings and meals very often, sometimes just us. I've met her husband, 51, and we get along very well. For what I've seen, they have a good life and a great marriage, and I can't understand where this came from. She asked me to have lunch with her, as we always do, but this time she kept looking at me, asking about intimate details about me, all ending in her saying she's always been interested in me. At first, considering me kind and cute, like a puppy she was taking care of, but over time she started to look at me as a man. She had felt this attraction as we spent time together and now wanted to go deeper into this. I've always seen her as a mentor and a friend, nothing more. I owe her so much. She helped me get this job, taught me a lot, always giving me advice, and I'm very grateful to her. And because all of this, I'm afraid of any answer I could give to her. If I say no, I'm not sure if our relationship will become bitter. She could resent me. Or things could become uncomfortable, and I'm not comfortable with cheating. I can't say yes, even after she told me she had already solved that part and wouldn't be a problem. She told me she would give me time to think about it, and since then, she has kept behaving as always. But it just feels so different now. Well, OP, I'm sorry to say, but what your boss did is sexual harassment. She's in a position of power over you, and she's leveraging that power to get you into bed. Who knows, it might have been her plan all along, and she's been workplace grooming you for a while now. Now, on top of the harassment, it also sucks that this is a person that you admired, somebody that you thought was a friend, and turned around and betrayed you like this. OP, this is clearly a situation that makes you very uncomfortable, and with right cause. So before you answer anything, I would suggest try to get some evidence or proof of what she's trying to get you to do, just so that you have some solid evidence for when you go to HR to make the claim. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's check out the community comments. Knifey Wifey says, email or text messenger about it so you have physical evidence. Ask something like, did you really mean what you said at lunch? Once she reiterates that she would like a romantic relationship with you, politely decline, emphasizing that it would be unprofessional and you want to maintain the excellent working relationship you have worked hard to build with her. No matter what she says to convince you, stick to your initial answer. No thank you, I am not interested in anything but a professional relationship with you. If she tries to punish you in any way, use the emails and text messages to prove what is actually going on. And OP responds, I'll do this just in case. OK Profession 8520 says, I've been in the exact same situation, other than she was divorced and I went for it. It's super fun in the beginning and the experience I definitely don't regret, but it's also short-lived. It almost always goes wrong, will most probably end, and it will never be the same as it was before. No more being her right hand, no more lunches, no more mentor. If you do it, be ready to give it all up, including probably your future at that company. And OP responds, thanks, that's what worries me the most. Fraser Grader says, it sounds like you're actually considering it. Don't. Get the thought out of your mind. This is bound to end catastrophically. I highly doubt she solved it with her husband. You can't seriously be that dumb as to believe that. She is abusing her position as your boss and putting you in a horrible situation. I'd be mad if I were you. She's already ruined everything by suggesting this to you. You should gather any evidence you have and report this to HR. This is a big deal. And Opie responds, thanks, I'm struggling with the idea because of everything she has done for me, but I don't want to take part of an affair. I also doubt she convinced her husband or that he even knows. And Dozed123 says, if the genders were reversed, no one would say that it is a super tough situation. Everyone would say that the guy is a coercing creep who should be sued for his behavior. And by the way, I am a woman, but completely against double standards. Abuse is abuse. Alright, so the community highly disagrees that Opie should even consider doing this. Some are saying the same as I did, that he should get some proof, and this last commenter just said it all. Abuse is abuse, regardless of the setting, regardless of who's doing it. So now, let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. Reading the comments had helped a lot into understanding lots of things. First of all, it was hard for me to even think about being sexually harassed by my boss. I couldn't comprehend I was being a victim because I didn't feel like that. But so many of you pointing it made me realize about it. After thinking a lot that night, I decided to do what most people told me. Start collecting evidence about the situation and her behavior to have something I could use to protect myself. Over those first days, I had some texts with her saying what she wanted, but something just felt off. I didn't feel comfortable. I owe so much to this woman that I couldn't just do this without giving her at least a last chance to come clear about this. I asked her if we could talk, just the two of us, and just in case I had my phone recording audio. I stayed in her office after work. In her words, it would be the better place to have privacy. I told her I thought about her offer. She was curious about my answer, but something felt weird. I decided to be completely honest with her, so I told her that, with all the respect she deserved, I was declining her offer. When she asked why, and if I didn't consider her attractive, I told her that, before all the situation, I only could see her as a mentor and a friend, that I admire, respect, and I'm very grateful to her, but I just couldn't. I told her, the fact that she is a married woman, even if she says that shouldn't be a problem, make me too uncomfortable. I told her I respect her and myself too much to be part of an affair. That in other circumstances, if she wasn't married, I would be glad to accept her invitation. But for our sake and the sake of our job relationship, I must say no. At first, she seemed to be calm. She accepted my answer and promised me that there would not be any problem between us. But she slowly started to break down until she was crying a lot. She seemed so hurt, so heartbroken. I didn't know what to do, except for hugging her tight and trying to calm her. After she calmed down a little, she told me everything. Some weeks ago, she found that her husband was cheating on her. It was the 4th time. She told me about their marriage, that for both of them, separation or divorce are not an option. They love each other, and the idea of being apart is too much for them. They tried it after the 2nd time he cheated, and both felt miserable. So she ends up forgiving him, giving him another chance, and they live happy until he cheats again. She told me that over the years he had been the best husband she could ask for, but after the last time she was so tired of all of this. She was about to end things with him, but they talked and decided to give a last chance to their marriage. That's when her husband convinced her to have her own affair. In order to save their marriage, they wanted to open it. That's why she proposed it. It was like a way to make things fair between them. She explained to me that she decided to ask me, as I was the only one she could trust enough to ask for something like that, and she hoped that after all we have done together, I could at least think about it without creating a problem or telling anyone. But after I told her I wanted to talk, she started to have lots of doubts and regretted to ask me, because she believed I was about to say yes. And after I said no, she was so relieved and immediately felt heartbroken. She said she loved her husband, and after all, she couldn't do this to him. She felt so guilty for accepting this idea, for accepting all the ideas that would follow after doing it. And the thing that hurt her the most is that she realized she wasn't able to do this to him, but he had done it more than once to her. I consoled her for hours. When we were done talking and left to our homes, it was almost midnight. She thanked me for everything, for consoling her, for the trust, for being a gentleman, and promised me that everything will be fine and said she was happy I ended up being a loyal and good friend. After that, the weekend was very quiet, and today she seemed to be way better. She told me everything is okay, they're talking, and I don't have anything to worry about. So, what do you guys think? Is this true, or is this just a ruse to keep OP off her tracks while she tries to find somebody else? Now, if everything she's saying is absolutely true, I don't think that justifies the fact that she was still a person with power over OP that put him in a horrible situation, and she did sexually harass him. OP, regardless of all of that, to me, this whole situation would be poisoned water. I would still try to perk up my resume and see if I can find another place. In the meantime, here's wishing you the best in the future, OP. Thanks for sharing and take care. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out. So here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.